Hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Tea and Teachings.
You're
There we
gonna do
go.
this too.
We were both going to do the same dance at the same time. There we go. What is going on, people? We're back. We're back with episode number two, the new two of the new Tea and Teachings. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about how you can take risks, how you can go after your goals, how you can push past your limits using faith and belief, because there are a lot of instances and opportunities in life that will present themselves, but of course you have to believe in those things, and you have to have faith and trust in the decisions, the desires that you have, the outcomes that you're working towards. So that's basically what this episode is going to be about. And when Lorna and I sat down and we had a conversation on our beliefs and on our faith, I think I want to start with sharing kind of our recent reconnection with God and with Source, which has been really incredible. Lorna and I have been reconnected with God for about a year now. The process was something that was kind of spontaneous, but it connected us together at the same time. And it's funny because Lorna and I always do these things kind of together. It's not like one of us starts and then the other one joins in. We usually kind of come to the same conclusion, and then we're like, hey, like we should start getting more connected to God. We should start going to church. We should start praying more frequently. And all of this is just an absolute incredible thing that we get to experience this together. But I share this because it's important to know where it started, and then it's important to know where we have always kept faith. So this entire journey of this year has largely been about how do we reconnect with God? How do we continue to show up, whether it's at church, or we're doing prayers on the daily, and then how do we bring that faith and how do we bring that spirituality into our lives? Because there are a lot of things that we do in our day to day in which people tend to not gravitate towards faith or gravitate towards belief. It's always logic, reason. Yeah. People are like, well, this is the next step. They're always spending time in the thinking and acting stage. That's the whole thing. Let me think about it. Let me act on it. That's where they stay. There is a lot that you are leaving on the table being in the, or well, that's really what it is, being in the being stage, where this is where belief comes from. This is where faith comes from, when trusting the process comes from. And for Lorna and I, faith have been present in very different ways. The way that we make decisions, the way that we've built this relationship, the way that we show up for ourselves day in and day out, all of these things are indicators that we had to have a certain level of belief and trust in this process. And there are so many great examples of this outside of just believing in God or believing in Source that we want to share with you guys. Like, Lorna and I didn't just build a lot of the things in our lives by an accident. This didn't just randomly happen and it was like, wow, like Lorna and Andrew seem to roll the dice well on a business, on a home, on a relationship, on having a child. Like, no, there's a lot of faith and belief that goes into this, which is why it manifests the way that it does. You know, a great example being Lorna was on 3 days for Plenty of Fish, when Plenty of Fish used to be good, an actual good dating site. And I was on there for a year. Bad dates, trying the whole process over and over
Do you
again.
want to share about your date about the person in the bush?
Okay, so it got to a point where like the dates started going downhill pretty quickly. When someone invited me into like a back alleyway, it was like, no, like just go into the bush and that's where I am. And I was like, you're not in the bush. Like this is not a legitimate thing. It was pretty wild. But like the whole aspect of that is through the entire process, I had belief in two things. I had belief that I was worthy of being with a partner, that I was worthy of being loved. And the second thing is I had the belief that I would find somebody. Not a matter of if, it was a matter of when. I'm going to stay through this whole process and I am going to find someone. And it was that belief that kept me on for an entire year. And remember, every bad date, every bad experience, every negative outcome that came from that further reinforced my belief. This is one more person who's not right for me. I'm closer to finding the person who's right for me. And lo and behold, it worked out. Now, just like some of the comments that we're getting here, like Aaron like talks about divine timing. See, here's the thing about timing. A lot of the times when we look towards the decisions that we've made or the outcomes that we get, we're like, oh, the timing was perfect. There's actually no such thing as perfect timing. When you allow a readiness and when you open yourself and you do all of the things that you're supposed to do, that is when it shows up for you and it manifests itself. You have to be open, you have to be present, you have to be willing. And those three things are a large part of belief. There are a lot of people who believe that they can do something, but they're not open to changing the way that they're doing things. And they're also not really present when they're working towards that goal or they're working towards something they want in their life. You need all three of those things. And then you also have to do the work. Like Lorna and I, like there were tons of things that I like was reading on emotional intelligence, and I learned I read the book before I went on of the love languages. I was doing stuff ahead of time so that way when I did find the person, it wasn't going to be a missed opportunity or a failed opportunity. It was giving it the best success that I could in the moment. So it's not that these times are perfect. But when you have faith and you trust the process and you follow that through with really clear action, that's when belief actually manifests into your life and it looks like perfect timing.
I think a lot of the times when it comes to what you have in your life, that is the result of everything you've done up until that point. And it's really like the compound effect, right? So wherever you are in your life right now, it's because of decisions that you've made previously. And I think a lot of the times we want results. We want to reach our goals like tomorrow. And when we don't reach our goals, it's really easy to think like maybe it's not meant for me. Like maybe she can have it, maybe I can't. I'm not deserving of it. I'm not worthy of it. But it's not that you're not deserving or worthy of it. It's everyone's timeline is different. And, you know, even just sharing my example, when it came to healing my relationship with food, I often share this where, you know, I felt like it was taking me so much longer than everyone else. Like everyone else was conquering and they were like, I feel so free with food. Like I'm not binging anymore. And I felt like for me personally, I was in this specific program I was probably one of the longest people that was in there. And it would have been really easy for me to think like, well, like maybe it's not for me, or maybe I'm just going to struggle. Maybe maybe this isn't meant for me. Maybe I'm just going to be the outlier and I'm going to be the exception. But I surrendered and I trusted that I was going to get there. And here's the biggest thing. If you trust, you believe, and you know without a shadow of a doubt that you are absolutely going to get the result that you're looking for, screw the timeline. Like it actually doesn't matter. And that was kind of hard for me to surrender because again, everybody wants to get to their goals fast, right? Everybody wants to be on the other side. Everybody wants to have this massive transformation, but the reality is you have to trust that when you are meant to experience that transformation, you're meant to experience that transformation, whether it's a month, 2 months, 5 years. And this is how you know if you have faith. If I told you right now that the biggest desire in your heart, it's going to take you a year, would you be okay with that? Whatever goal it is, would you be okay with that? If it would take you a year, 2 years, 3 years, would you be okay with that? Most people wouldn't. Instant gratification. I want it tomorrow, but it's not fair. It didn't take her that long, but she got there so much faster. It doesn't matter. She's not you. Surrendering requires you to trust that your timeline is perfect for you. And that is what has truly allowed me to have everything that I wanted. Even, finding Andrew. I was not on my laptop like, I'm going to find my husband today. I was like, I'm just going to go on. I know I'm going to find my person, but like when, I don't know. But let me just go on. Boom, 3 days later. That was quick. But when it came to my relationship with food, that wasn't quick. So there's going to be different timelines, and you can't compare. You can't compare yourself to other people. You can't compare, oh, but this took me, 3 days, and then this one area taking me so long. What if there was a reason for it? Because there was a lesson that you needed to learn. Maybe you needed to strengthen the belief in yourself, because if you got it really quick, then maybe you didn't have to lean on faith. So something there as well too. Yeah, Catherine says, screw the timeline, that lands. Yes.
Now here's an interesting thing about the timeline. Lorna challenged you guys by saying, if you were told a long time frame, would you be okay with it? And no. I'm going to put it the other way. Some people are only okay with the timeline if they know the timeline.
Yeah.
If they understand, oh, if I know and I'm guaranteed that it's going to be 3 years, I'm prepared to commit. But here's the thing, with anything that is valuable in life, with faith, with trusting in something that you cannot see or comprehend, you are not told what the timeline is. You will not know what the timeline is. So it's easy for me to say to you guys, would you agree with it if you knew it took 2 years? And you're like, guaranteed? Sign me up.
Yeah.
Here's the thing though, you have to commit to these things without the understanding of the timeline. And that's why screwing the timeline and getting rid of the timeline is the most important thing. Because you don't know if it's going to take 2 months, 6 months, 3 years, 15, the day before you die. There's very different timelines for stuff. And here's the thing when Lorna talks about it takes the time that it takes. There is a reason why the timeline has not come for you in this moment. Either you are not in a state of readiness to receive it. So if you do receive it, you're going to fumble it. You're going to lose it. It's actually not going to help you in that moment. So that's reason number one. Reason number two is the person that you are does not see the value. So even if you did achieve it, it would not be the thing that makes you happy. And there are a lot of people who become very outcome driven. They put faith on the sideline, they put belief on the sideline, and they say, I just have to get myself there. They ignore the journey, they ignore the fun that they're gonna have, they hustle their way there, and then when they achieve it, it's like, oh, I don't feel any different. Yeah. Of course you don't feel any different. The work, the enjoyment, and the stuff was going through the experience. It wasn't actually achieving the thing. So if you're obsessed with achieving it, or if you're not in that ready state of being able to receive it, then that's where the timeline is going to continue to expand. Because we can make decisions just like this and see results just like this, but you have to have the belief that it is possible for you. And when we talk about actually I think you and I have talked about this in pieces before, but there's kind of like levels of faith on 4 levels. And when you look towards that level of faith and belief, the first is you have to have belief in yourself. You have to actually know that you as a person are capable of that thing and that you are worthy of that thing. You deserve it. It's already yours. Some people can't get past that. Secretly, deep down inside, they're like, I'm not worth it. I'm not the person. And then they shrink. That's my shrinking voice, by the way. And it's like, that ends up pushing away all of those really great opportunities and those moments to shine. The second thing is you have to have faith and you have to have belief in others, because some of the most important things that are going to happen for you in life don't just involve you, they involve other people. And that means you have to get help, receive support, lean on people, be a part of communities, be with collectives of people who are like-minded and have your energy. That's very important. If you don't have those people, then it's going to be very hard and it'll take a lot longer for you to get there on your own, because it's not meant to be shared with just one person. Even if you trust yourself and you trust people, well, then you've got to trust life. You have to trust that if and belief that if you plant the seed in the ground, that the seed was good, that a gerbil's not going to eat the seed, that the rain's not going to be too heavy. You have to trust that the thing is going to grow.
Yeah.
And guess what? There's no guarantee. This is why there's no timeline, because there's no guarantee that it's going to grow. Think about the trees and how they withstand stuff and how they continue to grow. So you have to trust that your ideas, your intention, the love, and the effort you put behind something is enough. And even if you make it past that, you got to trust the higher power. You got to trust that what you did was right for you and meant for you, because sometimes when things don't happen for us, it is the best thing for us. We just don't know it yet. So if you plant that seed and you believe it'll work and people help you do it, and then in the end it doesn't grow, this is where you go, this is the exact thing that was supposed to happen for me.
Yeah.
And that's how you continue to keep that faith.
You know, one time you said to me, I think you said something along the lines of like, you're always so positive or something. And I responded with, I just know that I'm going to be okay no matter what. Like, that's what faith is. Faith is no matter what the outcome is, I trust, I believe, I know that this is here to serve me. It's like, here's a gift for you. Like, here's a gift waiting for you. And I think that's really important because, you know, often we don't want the bad things to happen to us, but I don't see anything bad happening to you or to me. I think it's always a lesson, something that you can grow. And sometimes life will literally throw you what you don't want. And you're like, but I don't understand. Like, I didn't ask for this. Like, I don't want this, but something better is coming. Oh, I don't want this. Well, I didn't ask for this, but you need to go through this season to find strength, to maybe build up your faith if you haven't built it up yet, in order to get what you want. Because then when you get what you want, it's like, it's so much more fulfilling because it wasn't like right at your doorstep, like somebody rings the doorbell and like, here you go, this is what you asked for. That actually wouldn't be fulfilling. When we think about it, I personally think that the most rewarding things in life require you to go through the depths of challenges. And it requires you to climb up the frickin' mountain and be like, I don't even know how I'm gonna do this. Like, it wasn't easy, but that's what makes it so rewarding. If you just got something handed to you, it's like, okay, you don't really feel anything because you didn't have to put forth effort to receive it. You know, I know Brittany loves this example about like winning the lottery. It's like, if you won the lottery, like, I'd be like, sure, I'll be happy, but it's like, okay, versus like building something, like working really hard, starting your own business. It's like, I did that, I did that. But that requires an unshakable level of faith and surrendering to the outcome. And as Catherine reiterated, like, I'm going to be okay no matter what, will serve you so deeply. I'm going to share an example with you. So many of you guys know we had our baby, and I said I wanted a home birth. I really wanted that. But I prayed and I said, whatever method this child is going to come into this world, the safest way, I want that way. I wanted a home birth, but I surrendered and I said, even if I can't have a home birth, I want what is best for me, what's best for my baby, and I trust that. And it is so hard to surrender to something that you don't want. It's like, I really want this, but I have to be okay with this. And I truly believe from the bottom of my heart, the reason I was able to have a home birth was because I was open. I wasn't trying to control the situation. I wasn't gripping onto it. I wasn't putting all my eggs in one basket. Like, if this doesn't happen, it's gonna suck. If this doesn't happen, like, I'm gonna be so mad. And that's not easy. Like, it's so not easy. But when you surrender and you let go, I truly believe that you will get what you want. Like that.
Notice how when she walks through the prayer, she prayed for the process, not the outcome. The process was a safe birth.
Yeah.
And ultimately, whenever we talk with people who feel like their sense of belief is wavering, or they're hesitating, or they're like, oh, like, you know, I want it so bad, and like I believe, but like I doubt, like I question, I'm uncertain. When we start asking these people, like, what is it that you're questioning? What is it that you're uncertain about? What we hear is someone praying and hoping for the outcome, and they leave the process as second. Mm-hmm. The process is what you have faith in. The process is what you believe in. That is what is going to produce the result. That's what's going to get you to the thing. We can't pray or have faith in an outcome because we don't control that. We can never control an outcome. And there's something else which is really important. There's believing and there's knowing. The key to faith is being able to know something will happen, because knowing, there's no question.
Yeah.
I know it will happen. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Yep.
When you know something, when you feel it deep down and you trust that that thing is for you, that it exists, there is no, I don't have to create evidence for it. I don't have to find something for it. I just know. And this is where faith and belief can really confuse people. Because believing is, I believe, but there's still questions. Faith is, I don't question, I know. I might not have all the evidence, but it's coming. And this is where conversations on people's spiritual faith and conversations on faith in their life then brings people to two totally different directions.
Yeah.
Because someone goes, I believe, but I need evidence. Mm-hmm. That's not knowing. Versus, I believe and I know. And when someone goes, where's the proof? You go, I don't need proof.
No.
Proof is coming.
Yeah.
I just don't know where, how, when, what. It's coming.
Yeah.
And that's the difference.
I always say, like, your breakthrough is coming. Like, I just love that. Like, I've, you know, with all of you guys and, you know, the clients that I work with, I'm always like, your breakthrough moment is coming. And, like, get excited about that. You know, I think oftentimes it's like, but I'm waiting. Like, I'm in this waiting zone. You're not in a waiting zone. It's like, get into excitement zone. Get freaking fired up because your breakthrough is coming. If you knew your breakthrough was coming, how would you show up? You wouldn't doubt as much. You wouldn't have as much fear. Sure, you might doubt a little bit. There might be some fear. But it lessens when you have this knowing that, like, I'm going to get to the other side with whatever goal it is that you have. It's like, it's going to happen for me. And so the fear shrinks. The doubt quiets. And it's like, it's going to happen no matter what. So I guess for you, all of you guys watching here, I want you to rate your faith, your level of faith on a scale of 1 to 10. 10, I have unshakable faith. Like, I trust and I know that everything's working out for me in perfect timing. One of my mentors said that to me once, and she's like,
that's the key.
Everything is happening for me in perfect timing. And I was like, ooh, like that lands. So 10 is unshakable faith, a knowing, like a deep knowing at your core. And then 1 is 0. Like, I don't have faith. Like, I need so much evidence. I need to know the timeline. I need to know the details. I need to know when, where, how, depending on what the faith is in. Yeah. As you always say, trust the process, trust the process, trust the process. Yes.
So That's very interesting, depending on what the faith is in. It's easy for us to have faith when we see something, when we've experienced it, and when we believe in it. But that is conditional faith.
Yeah.
I see it when it's in front of me. I believe it when I'm touching it, when I hold it, when I can taste it. But you're trying to create something that doesn't exist. Whenever you're looking towards creating an opportunity in your life, it hasn't happened yet. You can't see, touch, feel, taste, or know something that hasn't happened yet. So when we say it depends on what area, there are always parts in our life where we don't have a lot of evidence. And those are the areas where we have to replace the lack of evidence with greater levels of faith.
Yeah.
Lorna and I did not know how to start a business. Between two of us, she's the
Okay,
smarter one. Okay.
No, what?
Yeah, she's definitely the smarter one.
You're so
For sure.
smart.
Book smart? No. Book smart. She's got it. She's got the degree. She's got the stuff. Neither of us have like business schooling whatsoever.
Well, here's
right?
the thing. So actually, after university, I went to college.
Did you take business school?
No.
Oh. I was like,
So
shit.
you're like, what the heck? Why are you not a billionaire by now? So I was in a class, and it was actually all about how to start a business. I kid you not. I never paid attention in that class. I have no idea what we learned, because at the time I was like, I'm not going to start my own business. Like I didn't even think that was going to be a thing. And here we are. You figure it out when you have faith. You don't need to know the how. You just got to show up one foot in front of the other. And next thing you know, you created the most beautiful life for yourself.
It's interesting you share that it's like there was that, like the information was there, but you weren't in a space where you can receive it. And that's a great example of what we talked earlier. But like, you know, going through life, there are tons of opportunities that you have where when you start something, it's the first time that you're going to do it. The first time you get engaged, the first time you get married, the first time you start a business.
Well, hopefully it's the first and last time.
You go and you start, right? Like, but for a lot of people, maybe it's not.
I know.
And maybe they're like, well, this is round 3. Like now I really got to have a lot of faith that like this is what it is. But usually whenever people lack faith, it's not that they lack faith in the thing. It's that they lack faith in themselves because there's a trust issue.
Yes.
When we lack faith in something, or when we are losing our faith and we're starting to question it, it's usually because of the way we feel about ourselves. I believe I'm unworthy. I've failed at this so many times. How could this be successful? I don't know what I'm doing, so how can I create the outcome that I want if I don't know what I'm doing? Someone else's level of success looks very different than what I'm trying on. So should it look like theirs? And then you start to shift what you're focusing on. All of these things are where faith starts to waver. You take the image and it starts to distort itself.
Yeah.
Right? And this is where, like, you know, and it's interesting, Brittany says here, it's easy to believe in the far-fetched. Of course it is. Usually the way people overcome fear is they dream bigger. It's going to be bigger, shinier, this. And what that does is that just steps over the fear without you actually addressing what's there for you. You go, well, if I just have a bigger dream, I can be more excited than I am afraid. That's fine. A healthy amount of fear is normal in your life.
Yeah.
You know, some people fear what happens after they die. Some people fear the creator. We fear, you know, the unknown. We fear the dark. These are all things that we can't see, feel. All of that stuff is very normal. What we can't do in faith is step over it, right? Like my mentor said a great story. Every David has a Goliath. And you don't get to like walk around the Goliath and be like, I'm just going to dream bigger. Like, Goliath is still there. You still have to vanquish that thing. But the beauty about faith is it is going to present itself in your life in the way that you are going to be able to deal with it.
Yeah. Um, Brittany says, fear singleness forever. We're going to find you a man at the event.
You can play matchmaker in the
Yeah.
hallway. Oh.
No, but even going back to, I was on Plenty of Fish for 3 days and Andrew was on for a year. Imagine if Andrew was like, I don't know, maybe then I won't be able to find my partner because it's been a year.
You know what though? It's interesting. During the whole process, I was never like, this is taking forever.
Yeah.
I was never worried about the time. I was never questioning
because
the time.
you knew it would happen.
Yes.
Right?
What I started to question was me. Am I undesirable because it's not working out? Do I need to continue to change? So
That's
see how
what normally happens.
it never comes down to the time frame. What happens is as we feel like we're running out of time, we start to question what we're doing.
Yeah.
We question ourselves.
Yeah. 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 Side note, I don't know where I heard this, but a lot of the times when you want something in life, do you often pray for it? Meaning like, I pray that this will happen for me. Or do you say, thank you, God, for giving me this? Because if you truly believe that it would happen for you, you wouldn't have to pray or ask for it because it's like, I know it's coming. And I just think that's so interesting because even when I believe in prayer and, I love when we pray together at night. And I think, it's really easy to be like, I really want this. Like, please, God, like, give this to me. Like, I really want this. But I started shifting the prayers to be like, thank you. Like, thank you for gifting me this. Thank you. Because again, going back to the knowing, if you know something is going to happen for you, yes, pray, but it's more like thank you because it's coming. Not like, can I have this? Like, I really want this. Because if you're asking like, can I have this? There's still a little bit of doubt that you can. And so I really even started shifting into like, thank you, because it's coming. It's coming. So I'm going to thank you in advance because I know it's on my way. That's something that I shifted.
It's so interesting you say that because I feel the majority of people use faith to try and remove struggle from their life. And the more challenges they experience, the more they pray. And then when life is going well, prayer stops. And it's just like, oh, I don't need to pray anymore. That's actually not what prayer is used for. And if we think about prayer in the form of creating, and it's the same thing with faith, when you believe in something so strongly, you develop a knowing, you create it into existence. This is what we're doing with faith. So there, a great example of this, think of this like 3 rooms. When we go to create anything in our life, the first room that we're in is filled with a lot of the things that we've created that were kind of clunky. We've got kind of a noisy, a messy room. Our relationships got things that need to work on. Our job has pieces we're out of alignment with. All of our room is filled with random junk. We don't have space to create. So you have to do a lot of cleaning up of that energy, of the expectations. We have to clean up our relationship. We have to keep our word. We do all of this stuff to clean up that room. And then finally in that room, we go, holy crap, there's a door. I never knew that door was there. Now I can go and I can find another room to create it. So you go and you open that door. And then what you discover is, as you start trying to create, you start having to deal with the fears, the doubts, the questions, the real challenge of whenever it comes to create. In that room, people spend a lot of time overcoming the fear of doubt. Finally, you successfully overcome that, and in that room, there's a final door. You walk in, think of it, I like to picture it like a telephone on a stand, okay? Or like one of the chairs, like one of like the zip phones, right, where you call. That is a direct line to source. It's a direct line to God. Imagine you doing all the work to remove the doubt, remove the fear, clean up your life, and then you pick up the phone to create, and you go, hey, I have a problem. Can you remove the problem from my... That's really what you're using the call for? To remove the problem? No, you should be using it for gratitude. Thank you so much for this. I'm really grateful for this. I can't wait to create this with you. That's the conversation you should be having in that room. So if anything, when these challenges come, you should be grateful because they're attached for something that you're actually going to receive. It's going to be a great gift, a great opportunity. Sometimes it's just a really great learning lesson so you don't do that stuff again. And it's perfect. It's exactly as it should be. But we have to trust that process. Yeah.
And again, nobody wants to trust that, like, I've had something shit on me and I think it's so good. Like, awesome. So glad. Like, thank you for shitting on my day, for shitting on my week, or like receiving like bad news. Like, you know, we've even had this conversation, like, why do like bad things happen to good people? I don't know if we talked about this in the first episode. Maybe we're overlapping a bit, but like, you know, like, why do bad things happen to good people? And it's like, because there is some type of lesson. Maybe that person needed to lean on faith more and pray more and connect more to God, or
connect with their family members.
Spend more time with that person because maybe they weren't making it a priority. So now something needed to happen and now they have to spend more time with that person. Like, there's just so many things. And I truly believe that if you really strengthen your levels of faith, like, you're gonna live an extraordinary life. You're going to get whatever it is that you want, because like it's almost like there's no other option. Like, it's coming, it's there. Like, I trust what's meant for me is meant for me. And that's also where like even joy comes in. When things aren't going your way, it's like, how can you be grateful? How can you find joy in the everyday, knowing that like this is the life that was created for you? Like, God has already carved a path for you and you just have to walk down it and trust that, like, you keep walking and there's going to be something magical along the way, but you might have to walk a little bit further in order to see that. Like, you can't like walk and you're like, oh, nothing's here for me, maybe I should go back. No, because you haven't gotten to the thing yet.
So this reminds me of something that I just recently learned, and it absolutely blew my mind. And this is also going to show my age, by the way, because I'm going to be talking about The Wizard of Oz. Yay! It's a very, very old, ancient movie, but it is something that I just learned like a couple of weeks ago. And it's a really, really great example of faith and belief. One of the things that can hinder the amount of faith that you have in something is the perspective that you're viewing it from. A lot of people, when they see tragedy, they put on the perspective of negativity and they go bad.
Yeah.
Instead of, there are tons of other perspectives that they can put on. You can put on the perspective of like, what's for me here? You know, how is this going to be able to help the person? Maybe it's exactly what they needed to turn the life around. There are so many perspectives. But the thing is a lot of times we naturally wear a set of glasses, or we wear a set of perspectives that affects our level of faith. And the great example is in Wizard of Oz. So there is a city called the Emerald City, and that's where Dorothy goes, and everything is green. So I thought, apparently the Emerald City is not green. It is the same color of every city. The wizard just convinces people to wear green glasses all the time, to the point where they believe that the city is green. When you spend more time with the glasses on, you believe that's your perspective. It's not. You can change your perspective all the time.
Yeah.
And that's the best part about having belief in the form of knowing. When you know that something is going to happen and that it is for you, no perspective can alter that.
Yeah.
There are things I know about our relationship. It will continue to grow, get better, be more incredible. We're going to continue to grow, and it's going to be a blast. I know this. No perspective of like a bad argument, a conflict, a thing is ever going to alter the fact that I'm going to wake up and be like, this is my person. It just doesn't work. But you have to become aware of the perspective that you're wearing. So if you were to say, of all of the things that are happening in my life, what is the perspective that I'm seeing here? Is it a negative perspective negative Nance come to town? If your name is Nancy, I'm so sorry. But but it's like, are you, you know, that,
Or
that form of
Nancy's. Like,
negative?
everybody uses that.
Well, I mean,
I say
Karen's
it too.
worse, right?
Yeah.
Karen's worse at this point, but it is what it is. I've met great Nancy's, I've met great Karens. They're fantastic. But like, the perspective is the key. It's like,
Yeah.
is it negative? Is it positive? Is it neutral? Is it pessimistic? Is it doubt, like a lens of doubt? Do you question? Do you need a lot of like evidence, proof? Like, what is the lens you see stuff out of? And then ask the second question, am I always seeing through this lens? Is my default this? Whenever
Yeah.
something happens, I go, of course, sucks to be me.
Yeah.
Is that the lens that it comes from? Or is there another lens?
You can alter your lens by one of the fastest ways to change the lens or like with the glasses that you're wearing is changing who you're surrounding yourself with. And this is why who you spend your time with, it matters. You know, if you've ever been with like negative people, like maybe you were all of a sudden like in a bad mood or like you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm starting to complain a lot more. And then you're around people who are like happy, positive, uplifting, and you're like, I'm a badass. I can do this. And this is why we have the badass community. And this is why people come inside and they're like, I never thought that I'd ever be able to conquer. And now like I see, oh wow, this person had a win. Oh my gosh, this person was able to go out for dinner and order the sweet potato fries without guilt. Like maybe I can do that. It's like you can borrow also other people's beliefs, other people's levels of faith. You know, and again, you don't need evidence, but sometimes, you know, it does help. Like I know even Catherine said, you know, sometimes I need a tiny little bit of evidence and then like, you know, my confidence grows. And like, that's not a bad thing. Like sometimes it's like, oh, like, wow, like this person's doing it, this person's doing it, this person's doing it. Wow, like I can do it too. So who you surround yourself with absolutely matters. And I can't remember, there was like a study, I was even listening to something and it was like, if you're sitting with like a high performer, you automatically perform better. And if you sit beside someone like an underperformer, it's like you literally underperform. Like it's just, you don't even have to do anything. You just need to be in proximity with somebody and you can shift that fast. And you know, this is why like I'm so excited for you guys coming to the Unstoppable Badass event where we're actually going to be in person, because when you are around other people who are going to help you rise into the badass woman that you know you're meant to be, you will become her. Like you literally can just show up and get in the room and there is going to be an identity shift. Of course, yes, you got to put in the work and you got to take action, right? Like faith isn't like, I just hope and pray and like hopefully and like I believe, like I trust, like it's going to happen. No, you actually got to put in the work. But at the same time, it's like, when you're just surrounded by other people who are positive, uplifting, they're reminding you who the F you are. It's like you see yourself differently. It's the fastest way to shift your identity. You know, nobody changes by like sitting at home in their house. It's like you gotta be around other people who can lift you up. And so, yeah, Brittany is excited. Brittany booked her flights at her hotel.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah, I mean, to the evidence piece, like you will discover evidence. You will discover evidence, right? Like plant the seed in the ground, you're gonna see a sprout, you're gonna see it. But like again, the evidence is always like oh, this is great. Like we always get intuitive hits of like we're doing the right thing, or there's indications that are here, or wow, this is for us. Like you are going to get that. You're going to get validation through this process. It's again, you just can't expect it to come when you want it every second of every day, or as a condition as to doing something, because depending on what you're trying to create in your life, validation may take a very, very long time, right? And this is where it's like, again, what is it specifically that you are looking for? This is why you have to, like, faith is about believing in the journey. It really is. Like, when you think about the spirituality, like, we only have one life, and when we die, we're gone. So we enjoy the process, because the end, now there's a better journey after that, which is incredible, but we only have a finite amount of time here. If we don't say, I'm in such a hurry to go and die. Like, I can't wait like kick it tomorrow. No, we're like, I want to be here as long as possible. So if we know instinctively in life we have to enjoy that process, we also know instinctively that we have to enjoy the process of every journey.
And one of my favorite quotes that I often share is like, every moment matters. And so even when you aren't where you want to be, even when it feels like things are far away, it's like, how can you trust and know that like every single moment matters? Like these 45 minutes that we are on right now, like we take this seriously. Like this is 45 minutes of our lives. Like even for all of you guys on, like we don't take this for granted. Like every single moment matters. You can choose your time however you want to choose your time. And so it's like, if you go through this mindset that every single moment matters, you like grasp onto it a little bit more. It's like you experience a little bit more joy in that moment. You can slow down in that moment. You can be more present in that moment. And yeah, that's how, honestly, like I live my life every single day. It's like every single moment matters. So even when shit hits the fan, how can I respond to this? Because how I respond to this matters, because every single moment matters.
Yeah.
And you can literally flip your mindset, flip your mood upside down just by being in this moment. How do I want to respond to this right now? And it makes a big difference.
A big piece of this too is the community is so important.
Yeah.
Like I can't stress enough, like what's reinforced my faith is like, I've shared multiple places as many times as I can count. I've been a part of a men's group for three years, coming up on 4 in April already, which is crazy, right? So close to 4 years. I meet with a group of men every single week. They share my values. They help me grow spiritually. They help me grow mentally and emotionally. They continue to push the envelope on the way that I grow. We hold space for each other. But the most important thing is I get to celebrate and experience life with them. Yeah. And it makes everything so much more fuller. It's why, like when Lorna and I do events, and whether it's the Unstoppable Badass event or even retreats, we do it, and we do it in very niche and small groups, because the energy is very important to us. Because it's not just about having 6,000 people in a room and nobody knows your name. It's about being able to develop a long-lasting relationship where someone goes, I see you, I know you. Like your family is my family. I got guys in that men's group who their kids, I consider them my kids. Like if someone brings home a bad boyfriend, you know who you are. I'm coming for that guy. Like it's default. It's already set in stone.
You build something so strong. You know, like it's so beautiful, and you don't get that everywhere, you know. And you know, even when it comes to the Unstoppable Badass event, this is an intimate event. Like we don't create these events with like hundreds of people. Like I want it to be intimate. I want the right people in the room, because when you have the right people and everybody can see you, and it's like this safe space for you to share, to feel vulnerable, and you actually feel seen. Like feeling seen is you're receiving one of the greatest gifts.
Yeah.
Because not many people can see you for who you really are. And so many of you guys watching this live or the replay are so incredible, but either you don't see yourself that way, or you're around other people that don't allow you to see yourself that way, that don't actually remind you who you are and how much of an amazing mom you are, or you know how incredible of a partner you are, you know. And even just like right now, like go to your partner tonight and like or a best friend or a parent or somebody that you love, and share with them how much they mean to you, you know. Like be that light in the room. And I want to be the light for all of you guys. And I know everybody coming to the Unstoppable Badass event, like you're going to be the light for other people. And if you feel like your light has kind of like dimmed a little bit, somebody else's light is going to turn on, and you're going to get that light, and you're going to see yourself in a different way as well too. And that's the power of community. It's like maybe you're doubting yourself in an area, or you feel unworthy in a specific area, and then somebody is like, you know, reminds you of your power, and you take your power back, and you're like, oh, like, wow, I can actually do this. I believe in myself again. Like, and that it's so healing. It's so beautiful. So be the light in other people's life. And, you know, no matter how bright your light is, you can always use more light.
Yeah. They say the easiest way to light a candle is with another candle. And that's exactly what we do with people. We instill a little bit of our light in them, and then they continue to grow and they instill it in somebody else. It's one of the biggest things. And it's interesting. Actually, I don't know how you feel about this, but I feel there's a very large spiritual awakening with people now. And there's a large coming back to source, reconnecting with community, because the world is very divisive and it's trying to create separation of people. There always has to be a person on the left, a person on the right, a party here, a party there, some type of a clique or a group here, a group there, and everything that is doing is creating separation. We're not actually coming together as people. And what we're doing is we are putting our trust and we're putting our resources in money, in time, in that type of space, which is fine. There's got to be a balance, but the other balance of that is spiritual currency, how we feel inside every day, how we connect with others in community. And I'm seeing in both like the clients we work with and in the world that we live with, that there are a lot of people coming back to their community and coming back to sources of faith because they recognize, oh wow, I've really pulled away from this, and now like it is something that I'm missing. But I'd love to hear your thought.
I think sometimes you don't realize how important community is until you are struggling.
True, yeah.
Or you're going through something for the first time, or you're like confused. Like, even like as a first time mom and a first time parent, it's like, hearing other people's experiences and recognizing like, oh, okay, you go through that as well too. Like, it's so healing. It's so nurturing. I don't care how much you feel like you got your shit together. It's like we all need that in different areas of our lives. And being part of a community doesn't mean like you have to act like that person, or that person's gonna give you advice and you gotta grab it by the, what's the phrase?
Horns.
Like grab it by the horns and like take it on. It's like,
what else would it be?
grab it by the balls. I don't know. I'm joking. What else would it be? I don't know. That's why.
Grab it by. You're
grab
so
it by
funny.
the bald head. I don't know.
You're so funny. I love it. Horns. That's
Horns.
That's it.
I don't even know what I'm saying. Whatever.
I love it. It's grab the bull by the horns. That's what it is.
Okay, grab the bull. Yeah. Because I was like, grab it. Grab it. Grab it. I don't know.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. Oh,
lost my train of thought. Don't even know what I was going to say, but
nice. Oh, sorry.
The end.
Yeah, exactly. We appreciate you guys for hopping on and even just going through this process with us. And yeah, there's going to be more great energy into future tea and teachings to come. So
yes, and I emailed the schedule for the next month. For like this month. So be sure to put those times in your calendar and show up live. Like, there's something so powerful about this energy. Like, I always say how you do one thing is how you do everything. So, if you want to be part of this journey and you want to grow every single week, you want to learn something new. We don't have tea. I'm drinking infused water and you're not drinking anything. I'm not drinking anything during teachings. But if you want to grow every single week, if you want to step into greater versions of yourself, come to these live, attend and like be plugged in, like pretend like you paid for this, because it's true, people who pay more attention. So like pretend like you're paying for this, like show up as if it's like a paid thing that you invested in. And these are strategies and just tools and even just mindset perspectives that I truly believe can change your life if you actually let them. So show up powerfully to these live training sessions, and holy moly, it's almost an hour. It's so interesting. My mom's like, how long do you think you're going to be? And I'm like, an hour? And I'm like, I like to talk.
It works. It always works out the way. So,
yeah. So if you enjoyed these, let us know. We're going to keep them coming as of right now. Yep. Catherine says, thank you. Erin said this was amazing, as I knew it would be. Yay. Yeah, so glad.
You guys are very welcome.
Yeah, I'm so glad that they're supportive. I have so much fun pouring into you guys and serving you and helping and supporting you guys. So keep showing up, and we'll keep showing up as well too. So thank you guys so much for being here, and we will see you next week. Next week it is on Saturday.
Yeah.
So we will see you then.
It'll be good. Keep grabbing it. The horns.
Or whatever you want to grab. Who knows?
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
Okay.
Take care,
Catch you
guys.
later.
Bye.
Bye.